William Lance Marengo, 29, was given 2 consecutive life sentences by Graham County Superior Court Judge Michael D. Peterson on Monday for the murders of Rueben Nicholas Morales of Salt Lake City and Sabrena Marie Martin of Safford. Morales and Martin went missing in January of 2019 and were later found August 24, 2019, buried in a makeshift cellar in the backyard of a residence in Thunderbird Mobile Estates where the murders took place. The bodies were found after Marengo's girlfriend at the time, Kiona Wilson, showed authorities where they were buried. Wilson also was sentenced Monday to the maximum term of 2 years in prison for tampering with physical evidence, to be followed up by 3 years on probation for abandonment of a dead body. Marengo advised that he committed the murders to steal $100 in cash and about a half ounce of heroin off the victims.
This ridiculous conduct has made very, very good people miserable. It has filled them with angst and depression and hate, and that only can be put at the feet of the individual who is admitted to pulling the trigger. Judge, we had 2 people who were alive and asleep in their beds, as we've heard today, who were extremely loved, not only by their children, but their parents. And for absolutely nothing less than maybe $100 and a little bit of heroin, all that came to an end. It absolutely has devastated the lives of nearly every person in this courtroom. And because we are a society of laws, because we cannot tolerate this, we have got to give the absolute most severe punishment that we can. Because we need to let everyone know this is not how to act. This will not be tolerated. If you even fathom the idea of the senselessness, you have got to know the consequences are not only ending the lives of your victims, but for all intents and purposes, ending your life as well. If we fail to impose a consecutive life sentence, that completely negates the victimization of one of the 2 people that died in the defendant's hands. This is an issue of semantics that absolutely needs to be fought out and needs to be ordered. I say that, Judge, because at the end of the day, if it is a concurrent sentence, then one of those 2 individuals will have died without any justice. And while it's simply ordering another sentence, it at least imposes a measure of justice, albeit short, but a measure of justice for both these victims who, as we've heard, will never have another Mother's Day, will never have another Father's Day, will never have another Christmas, will never see their children graduate.
He took a plea agreement that gives you only one choice, Judge, whether to run these life sentences consecutively or concurrently. I think it's important that, unlike another person involved in this case, he has accepted responsibility. He has expressed remorse. He wanted to turn and apologize to the victims. That's powerful, Judge. These poor people can never get their kids back. He will never get his kids back. Those kids are taken from him. He'll never see his children again. If he's lucky, after about 10 years, he'll have a chance to have a contact visit with his mother. So I want the victims to know that he will not have the opportunity to hug his mother either. There's no bringing back those 2 people. They were innocent. And they will always remain innocent. And it's something that he has to carry. But there has to be hope. He's going to spend at least 25 years on one count before he's even eligible for parole. It's not automatic. He has to convince the parole board that he is worthy to be released after 25 years. No guarantees. We would submit, Judge, that notwithstanding what Mr. Bennett said, that a second consecutive life term or concurrent life term would give no meaning to the other life. You saw Lance today. It does have meaning. He is sorry for that. But if you order consecutive life sentences, you will essentially die in prison. That's 50 years. I'll be long gone. Most of the people in this courtroom will be long gone. Acknowledge that, Judge. Everyone thinks he's not deserving of leniency. It's not leniency. His life is ripped apart. His family's ripped apart. His friends are gone. At least, perhaps, he can have a quarter of his life left. But a consecutive sentence is essentially ending his life behind bars.
Nick and Sabrena were both very great people. They were light to my darkness in a time of my life that I struggled with. And ultimately, we always tried to be there for the ones that we love. And I took that. I took that from many people, their children, their mothers, their fathers. I'm very sorry for that. And I know me speaking to you alone cannot bring them back, and I wish that I could. I do every day. I struggle with it. I see their smiles. Their smiles were piercing. Every time they smiled, every time they laughed, they were the joy in my life. And I took that. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for doing that to them. Ultimately, there's no excuse for what I did. I accept full responsibility, Your Honor.
It's a judgment of the court in connection with count 1 will serve a life term in prison for the murder of R and M. Restitution capped at $2 million. As to count 2, you'll serve a term in life in prison for the murder of S.M. Count 2 shall be consecutive or back-to-back with count 1. Restitution capping $2 million. Counts 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, along with cases CR 2018-117 and CR 2019-246 are dismissed by operation of the agreement.
After Judge Peterson handed down his sentence, Marengo was fingerprinted and was taken back to jail to await being remanded into the custody of the Arizona Department of Corrections to serve out his term. Reporting from Safford for the Gila Herald, I'm John Johnson.